Hey everybody, welcome back. Sean here once again with another video. And today, as promised, what we're going to do is actually look at, we talked about in the last video, how to actually begin taking steps to increase or raise our frequency. And today what we're going to do is look at some of the signs, ways we can sort of check in with ourselves and see how we're actually doing frequency-wise. These are things that I do sometimes if I'm wondering how I'm actually doing. These are just different ways that we can tell whether we're actually increasing or decreasing in frequency. There are ways we can sort of check in with ourselves. I've made a short list, and once again, if there's anything that you can think of that I am missing in this list, definitely feel free to leave it in the comments below. But I have found 7 things that I do and check in with myself if I'm wondering, if I'm just wondering if I'm actually doing well, if I'm on the increase or I'm on the decrease as far as frequency goes. So the first one, and the one that I really start with, is: am I relaxed, am I open, or am I tense and closed? Being relaxed and open is a sign that we are vibrating at a higher frequency, where of course if we're tense and closed off, it's a sign that we are actually lower in vibration or decreasing our frequency. Very simple way to sort of check in with ourselves. Number 2 is really just to look at your day, how it's going. Are things flowing smoothly? Are doors opening for you? If you're trying to do something, is it going easily, or are things going very hard and doors kind of slamming in your face? The more smooth things are going, the easier things are going throughout our day, is a very good indication that we're sort of vibing high and that our frequency is increasing. When things are kind of going haywire, everything's going wrong, doors are slamming in our face, it's a good indication that we're in a lower vibration. And that's another very simple way that we can sort of gauge how we're doing as far as frequency or vibration goes. Number 2, something that I do quite often is just gauge, especially if I'm out in public, how are people in general responding to me. The higher my vibration, I find people just respond to me much better. I get smiles, doors held open for me. I get people really responding very well. Where if I'm in a lower vibration, of course, people just, I find they act different. They kind of try to stay away a little bit. So that's another way that I can easily gauge if I'm curious or wondering how I'm actually doing, especially when I'm out in public, is just to see how people in general are reacting to me, especially strangers, because of course when you first meet someone, generally speaking, on top of how you appear, really how you judge people initially is on the vibe you get. So the higher my vibe, I do find in general people respond to me much better. Whereas if I'm in a lower vibe, if I'm angry, grumbly, of course people tend to leave a space when I walk through. They try to stay away from me a little bit more. Number 3, I guess this is experiencing synchronicities. Whenever we're experiencing synchronicities in our life, things happening, seemingly miracle coincidences, or if we're seeing repeating numbers on the clock like 1111, 444, or license plates when we're outside, generally this is an indication that we're at a high vibration. Our vibration is increasing. Every time I start noticing synchronicities, I sort of get a smile on my face, because I know it's an indication that I'm on the right track and that I'm actually increasing my vibration. So that's another sign. Number 4, I guess this is again how we're feeling. If we're feeling love and joy and enthusiasm, even excitement, if we're feeling passion, this is an indication that we're vibrating at a higher frequency. Of course, the opposite of that would be fear, separation, stress, tension, feeling blocked. This would be an indication that we are in a lower vibration. So that's another very simple way. How are you actually feeling? If you're feeling joy, if you're feeling blissful, if you're feeling excited, it's a great indication that you are at a higher vibration. The other thing that we can do, I guess this would be number 5, is actually check in with our bodies. If our bodies are feeling energized, light, and ready to basically take on the world, this is an indication that we're at a higher vibration. Where of course if we're feeling tired, sore, stiff, sickly, this would be an indication that we're at a lower vibration. Now, of course, there would be exceptions to that, but generally speaking, if there's nothing physically, wrong with you in terms of disease or illness, just having a very light and energized body is an indication that we are vibrating at a higher frequency, where, of course, being stressed and tense and tight and feeling tired and sickly would be an indication that we are at a lower vibration. The other thing is, I guess this is number 6 now, and I'm kind of losing track of the count. Not really that important, but seeing increased beauty in our daily lives, going outside, I notice the higher my vibration, the more colors appear in the sky, in the trees, even in the cars passing by. The higher my vibration, the more vibrant the colors tend to be that I'm seeing. When I'm noticing things are looking exceptionally beautiful around me, this is generally an indication that we're at a higher vibration and that our vibration is increasing. And finally, what I wrote down is we'll feel more creative. We'll feel more like whatever it is that we're passionate about creating, whether it's drawing, painting, dancing, singing, whatever it is. Generally, when we're feeling more creative, more inspired to create, this is a good indication that we are at a higher vibration and that our vibration is increasing. So these are just some simple ways that we can check in with ourselves if we're wondering how we're doing, especially in the beginning. As we start increasing our vibration, you'll notice you'll be at a very high vibration 1 minute, very often you'll be down the next, and it takes a while as we start working on increasing our vibration to keep it up for sustained periods, and especially in the beginning you'll notice it's almost like a roller coaster. So these are just tips and tricks that we can use to check in with our bodies, our minds, and ourselves to see how we're doing. And these are all great indicators that our vibration is increasing. And every time you start noticing these within yourselves, just give yourself a pat on the back and realize that you're on the right track, you're moving in the right direction, and just keep going. And of course, when you see the opposite, when you see you're stressed, you're down, you're tired, things aren't going your way, everything's falling apart, it's a good time to just sort of take a step back, take a quiet moment, and sort of reassess, take a few deep breaths. And very often, just by doing that, by realizing where we're at and we're actually decreasing in vibration, just the realization, and just by taking a step back, we can really turn it around and start increasing our vibration once again. So this is, again, very, very simple ways we can check in. This is not a long video. I wanted to keep it kind of short and sweet. I had a bit of a long day. I've been going around all day. It's a very hot and humid day here where I am, so I'm kind of all sweaty. I wanted to keep it short and sweet, but I didn't want to miss today. And we had talked about some of these signs yesterday a little bit, so I wanted to go into it a little bit more in depth. But now we'll end this video here. Again, if you have anything that I missed that works for you, that you can check in and really notice how you're doing in terms of vibration, feel free to leave it in the comments. And we'll come back, and again, we'll start looking at more refined ways to increase our vibration in further videos. But this will conclude this one, and once again, I love you, and I will see you in the next video.